See the truth reflecting back in 1,000 different eyes.
Welcome back to the Fathers Making Progress podcast, where we talk positive communities and how healing strong fathers and building strong fathers build strong families, which equal strong and positive communities. Today's episode is Dads as a Vanguard. So basically, we're talking about men as peacekeepers. We're talking about fathers as mediators, and how we build our families up in a new way for this new generation. And joining us today, we have some wonderful, wonderful guests. We got brother, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it like this. We're gonna do the elder first. We're gonna do the OG first.
Absolutely.
We got brother Charles Robinson. Professor Charles Robinson, who is an attorney. He's a mediator. He's a founder of the Kalahari Institute. He's facilitated this awesome 40-hour mediation training. With the co-authors of the Child Support Solutions, and he's been a long-time FMP partner. Just an awesome guy. A guy I'm happy to call. In some ways, one of my mentors for sure.
Look at that. That's deep. You don't even got a lot of stuff like that to say about me.
We gonna get to you next, because to his right, we have brother Floyd, Wild Horse Rowell. He's a FMP alum. He actually just reminded me he was part of FMP back in 2007 before it was even named FMP.
Right.
He came through the Transitional Jobs Program and started at the Alma Center, where he still helps thousands of men a year. Through anger management and mediation programs. Right. Yeah. So how's that for an introduction, brother?
Set me in good. Crew me in good with
definitely.
That.
So we here. We gonna start with some stories. We're gonna do a little facts and cap. We're gonna hear about some faves, some guest best. But first and foremost, I wanted to say that this episode is sponsored by Better Together. Better Together is the awesome, innovative co-parenting program brought to you by Fathers Making Progress, where we heal and build spaces for co-parents to have a new day. So hey, marriage is on the decline, divorce is on the rise, and the babies are still coming. Yeah. So we got to do something different, you all. Check out Better Together. Go to the website. Figure out how you can get in. So here, this is where we start. Our first segment is called Who You Be, and this is where we just we want to roll back. I threw out them titles. I threw out all this awesome stuff that you all have done. But let's just start with who you are. Like, who are you as men, fathers? And we can start wherever y'all want to start. Who want to start? Who you be?
Oh, we gonna go with the elder first.
Okay, we can go with the elder first. Who you be? Who you be, Brother Charles?
I can start. Actually, this morning I was in a conversation about ministries, and I was, we had to Zoom, and one of the participants in this group meeting, it was a group of business people, and I happened to be the leader today. Mm-hmm. And one of the participants put up on the screen her name, Minister. Her name was Shakesha. Minister Shakesha. And I said, now Shakesha is not up in the pulpit, preaching, but she is a minister.
Like street ministry.
Well, there are many different kinds of ministries.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And I looked upon it, I said, well, conflict resolution, peacemaking is a ministry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my commitment is to cause peace, healing, and collaboration.
Yes.
And so that's basically who I am. That's my life purpose. And I'm so glad I was able to find that purpose after, I taught for MPS for a while. And then I said, no, I got to do something about this unequal educational opportunity, systemic, structural racism in Milwaukee. And so I was following the lead of Lord Barbed, the late, great Lord Barbed. And I went to law school. With the intent, I'm coming back and running for school board because I wanted to make some changes. We had 1,600 students in a building where the capacity was 9.
900?
Yeah, and so
there's 700 students over capacity.
That's right, and so that
packing the sand.
That was one issue, but there were other issues in the school as well. Not just at Robert Fulton. Later became Malcolm X, and now that building. I don't know what they're doing in that building now. But that was my motivation for leaving the classroom. And when I left, the teachers met with me because they didn't really want me to leave, right?
Okay.
And anyway, she said, well, if you go to law school, can you practice preventive law? And I didn't know what that meant, right? Ultimately, I found out that the closest thing to preventive law that I can think of is mediation, conflict resolution, alternative dispute resolution. That's preventive law. I told her I would. Had no idea that I would end up doing what I'm doing now.
Man, you just never know what the spirit or whatever got in store for us, man. You know, it's funny, and one you talked about being younger, and it actually prompted me. I thought about a story that you know, another great athlete, you know, the late great, you know, brother Ahmad Muhammad, you know, who at that time was known as Gary Pinkerton. That was his name back then. But brother Ahmad, you know, the great minister, you know, God rest his soul, you know. Anyway, he was talking about. He was like, when he met brother, he's like, man, do you know this brother was one of the coldest football players in the nation? And I was like, as many stories as I heard, I never heard that story, man. So
About who?
about you.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, I don't look like a football player.
Yeah, they said this dude was, but they said this dude was cold.
The Green Bay Packers actually invited me to try out.
Wow.
And I went to law school instead. While I was teaching, I was playing for the West Dallas.
See, he almost didn't even tell that story, man.
Right.
He's almost like just humble.
Well, he was talking earlier. He
brother.
never said that.
Man, yeah. I heard actually, and I heard that from somebody else. Yeah, it's wild. But welcome to the show, and just we gonna get into it. Go ahead, introduce yourself. Who you be?
Oh yeah, I like how you said that too at the end. That part, like I didn't know I'd be getting like doing this type of work.
Yeah.
I always said that you still got the 20-year celebration on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
20 years ago, if you would have told me I'd be doing this type of work, I'd have been laughing at you.
Jeez.
I would have been laughing like, what? Yeah. You know, and to now do what I do now and who I be. So
I feel you.
Man. So
that.
with my mission statement, first I'm coming to answer that one. As a man amongst people, I create a world where people go beyond their self-made limitations. Like watch me go beyond mine. Right. And so as the urban healer, like I said, I'll be the one that's put out the little small fires before they come to big forest fires where you need Smokey the Bear at then. You know? And so that's late talk on the phone with people that's calling people throughout time, and people calling me, needing help, needing answers. What should I do with this part, or what should I do right there? Do the right thing. That's what I'm gonna tell you about there, right? And so, but yeah, so I do that in a lot of late nights. And it's definitely worth it. And just the way it's worth it is like, it was one time I was coming in to work. And you know the work that we do.
Yeah.
We hear trauma stories day in, day out. You know, from people all the time. And so I'm coming in, and it had to be a Wednesday hump day at that too, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, here we go. Okay. One of those days, my energy was kind of low. And, you know, it's on the east side right there. And I'm coming down Locust Hill, Mount Loc Dog, as I call it, right? I'm driving down the hill.
Mount Loc
And,
Dog.
you know, right when you get up there and coming down, you know, you can see the building from there. And I'm coming down the hill, and I stop. And the window is down because it's the summertime, right? And I hear a baby laughing. I mean, come on. Children laughing and playing, that's just healing, right?
Yeah, I tell you.
And so when I look over, I see it was a guy that I was helping 2 years ago. And he's a singer.
Okay.
He like, ooh, you know, he real good old singer and everything, right? And he said, I'm doing this, Floyd, so I can be in my daughter's life. That's what he told me. When I looked over and seen the baby was in the little stroller, like, you know, and he was coming down the hill with the baby, and he was kind of like doing this, like, like in the car with it. And then the mother was on the side.
Yeah, they're
shacking. He's
shacking with the stroller.
The baby just in that seat, just laughing and just in full,
Yeah.
And I looked over and seen it, and I'm like, that's why I do this.
Oh,
that's why I do this right there. And it just gave me energy. Come on, just keep on putting out these little fires.
Just healing. A brother in his healing and having space and having some to give right back to his family.
Yeah.
And that's what we talk about, right? Like stronger fathers, stronger community.
Yes.
Stronger fathers, stronger family, stronger communities. That's a beautiful picture of how you painted that. And you guys are both dads, right? You know, you both
absolutely.
Terron, this morning, after that meeting I had, my daughter calls me. She's in her car, and she's setting up a podcast because we were talking last week about an idea and daughter-daddy dialogue.
Okay.
Daughter daddy
Oh, I like
dialogue, right? And
So,
she
so you told her you was coming here with us, and she was like, "You better get on my podcast too. Quit playing."
she was getting me prepared. She's about to do her third Ironman.
Oh, like a triathlon or
Yeah,
or, okay.
Ironman is
Marathon?
You know what they do with the swimming and the
Yeah,
biking?
yeah, yeah. The triathlon.
And the
Yeah,
running.
yeah, yep.
Mhm.
It's like all day.
Yeah.
And she's 50 years old. She's about to do her third one in Madison on September 5th, I guess. I'll be there
Man,
to check her out.
shout out
Look at
to
that.
her. That's
But
yeah.
she was born my second year in law school.
Okay.
And I had, I wasn't married. I wasn't intending to have a child. But I'm so glad that I went through what I had to go through to make sure I was integrally involved in her life.
So you got that co-parenting story too.
I got that parenting story too.
Mm-hmm.
And she, on Father's Day and birthdays, you ought to, if you go on Facebook, you'll see some wonderful things that she says about me.
That's what's
Yeah.
But she won all the music awards, the Tech Jazz Ensemble. She was the leader of the band. What'd you call it?
I don't know, marching leader. I don't know the term. But
Yeah. She was that.
She's the person with that big old hat.
Right. Yeah. She she was that, and she won the 1600 meters her first year in high
Let's
school.
go. Okay.
So she was a great athlete and captain of basketball. So she did a whole lot of things, but I was always there in the audience.
Yeah. And that's powerful.
And
right
that,
there.
And that, as tired, because I was working in Janesville, Wisconsin at a job. I was fortunate enough to land a full-time mediator position in family court, Rock County.
That's right. Yeah.
But I was commuting 95 miles one way. So I used to, have to get on that road, Highway 90, and
Real life sacrifice.
And you're right, get over to Milwaukee Tech, to catch her programs or wherever they were.
And that's real life sacrifice on both ends. Because I know the program because we talked about it. That Rock County program, and because he still used building blocks of that stuff and some of the stuff that we're doing to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny because even though that was 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
Yep, 1991, 92,
40 years ago, 91, yeah. So even though that was 40 years ago, it's just like they, in their court system and how they're doing mediations with their families, is still kind of far beyond some of the stuff that we're doing right here, right now in Milwaukee County. And so it's just like, I'm just thinking about it's like, showing up innovative out there in Rock County for 10 hours a day or whatever, and then just hitting that highway, traveling 90 minutes back here and showing up for the babies, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's, man, hey, I just gotta
listen.
The name of it was Drum Major.
Drum Major, yeah, yep.
Drum major.
Drum Major.
I got to piggyback off that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that because, I went to Tech.
Come on.
And my son went to Tech too. And, I was definitely into the music and stuff. Definitely was in Roosevelt Middle School of the Arts and saxophone. I was first chair in tenor and baritone. I was second chair or third chair in alto. Darcel beat me. It's too beautiful. Too beautiful. I couldn't perform right with that at the time.
Well, I know you don't know nothing about the drum and bugle corps.
So about time I made it to Tech, the band was bad. The band was so bad that they'll tell kids in the lunchroom, y'all better sit down in y'all seats or we're going to put y'all in the band class. And everybody sit their butt down.
Yeah.
So that's real cool that you went to Tech.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's so funny because Alfonso, he was talking about your son the other day. He's like, you should see him, man. He look just like him. He talk like him and everything.
Yeah,
Just like that legacy, man. So Brother Charles, like, talking about the 40-hour mediation, which, we actually have had the pleasure of having some Milwaukee, based crew go through.
Yes.
And now we'll have the opportunity to have that transformation right here in our city where folks don't necessarily have to come to the courtroom to get these resources and just kind of figure out some stuff, with a focus on. You don't have to even be married or going through a divorce or even in a relationship, but with a focus on that, being able to have the skills to do that. So you talk a little bit more about the 40-hour.
Yeah, we have a joint vision on that. You know that.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
That's our dream.
Oh yeah,
and both of us are Quojo, by the way.
That's right. Yep. And for those who don't know back home, Quojo is male child born on Monday. West African through the rites of passage, and we are both Quojo, which is the peacekeeper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think I sent you the law review article written by one of the sisters at that meeting you were at in Detroit.
Yep.
Right. Zanelle Brown.
Yep.
And there were two other ones.
Shout out to Attorney Brown, man. She was dope.
They combined on a law review article. I was looking for something like that to substantiate what I thought was true. Based on my experiences, especially here in Milwaukee County on the family court mediation panel.
Right.
For over 30 years, I was the only black face on the panel.
Wow. Now you take that versus what goes on in our community and let's just think about that.
Now you can opt out of that program if you choose to. You could mandate parties like going through a divorce or somebody petition the court for placement or custody of a child.
Right.
They can use that program, that process. But so the court can refer people to mediation.
Yeah.
They can mandate them to go through the orientation process, but you can't make people mediate.
Right.
So guess what? Mostly black people are doing. They're opting out.
They're opting out. To take one look at who's in the room. I don't know him. I don't trust him. I'm out of here. We can figure this out. We can do something.
And the same way in Rock County, Janesville, Lily White Town, 15 miles away, Beloit. Okay, but Rock County has jurisdiction over Beloit as well.
Right.
And I was working for over 4 years in the Rock County Family Court Mediation Program.
Right.
And during that time, I only mediated with about five black families.
Okay. Just because of who was in Rock County.
Because they opted out.
Yeah.
But listen, if we could do what you and I think is possible, we can bring those services into the community. But we have to grow our own mediators and make sure we have people who are skillful in the art and science and the technique of conflict resolution.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. And that's why it's just so great that we were able to do that and get those folks trained in this technology to be able to offer these spaces.
Yeah, in that law review article, those three sisters did a very good job.
Okay.
They were looking at reasons why we have so few black mediators. Well, one reason could be, to get the 40-hour training, you need 40 hours of training, right?
Mm-hmm.
And who can take off for a whole week?
All right.
and that always was the struggle. And that's why, and you're right. I do share that vision. It's one of those things where I can't take credit and say, hey, this is just something I came up with. But I've always prided myself. I'm not entrepreneurial. I'm entrepreneurial. When I find and see things work, things don't have to be my idea. Things don't have to be, I'm thinking about, I don't fall in love with the methods. I fall in love with results. So it's just like, when I think about what helps our community, these things that this brother been talking to us about for so many years, like I'm sold. I think we have talked about this. It's like I think about 7 or 8 years ago, I think I talked like, man, you know what? I'm gonna find a way to make this happen. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna find a way to make this happen, and that's what we do. Even down to that conundrum he said about, hey, folks taking off and doing this. One of the dope things about the folks like us, and shout out to Safe and Sound. So Fathers Making Progress, Safe and Sound, and a couple other partners. It's like we had staff. We had people who, as a part of their work, they went through and got this training. Mm-hmm. And they're committed to offering these spaces moving forward. Mm-hmm. It's like we want to take all those barriers out of it. We want to be able to. That's it. Yeah.
And I'm sure you in your practice you notice
no doubt
that if people knew a better way to resolve their conflict, they would do it. It's a matter of education.
I hear it all the time.
That's been my experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's man. So it's just like on that note, and you could jump in, Floyd or whoever. Like, what happens? Because like that, if people knew a better way, what happens when men get the right tools? What happens when men get the right tools?
We need to take responsibility for our own wellness. right?
I
And
say.
because we're born into trauma. Like trauma is
Mhm.
handed down epigenetically for up to 14, they say 14 generations. So, and then we get exposed to trauma each and every day, compound trauma, right?
Compound trauma.
So I think everything that we do should be trauma informed,
Mhm.
especially in the area of peace, healing, and collaboration. And I was so, my background psychology and
Yep.
education. So I've always been intrigued by why people act the way they act, and the mind and the brain, and so I got in. I read about 17 books on mindfulness, and I said, well, in order for me to incorporate that in my training,
Mhm.
I need to practice it myself,
That's right.
right?
Come on now.
So every,
Mhm.
I practice at least a half an hour 4 times a week with a group out of Portland, because
Beautiful.
it's big time out,
Yeah.
on the West Coast.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
But what I've noticed is that when something is said or done that could normally cause me to be upset, I'm not acting out of that upsetness. I have a better ability to pause in between, that interaction, and then I can pivot. I can look at more possibilities.
Yeah.
I say.
And there's a book written called, the book was entitled Altered Traits.
Okay.
Altered traits, not altered states of
Mhm.
mind, but traits
Yep.
in the brain
Yep.
Mhm.
that monks who practice mindfully, who meditate deeply for long periods of time, their brains are altered
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the brain creates new pathways.
That's right.
Especially in the area impacted by empathy and sympathy.
Right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us in that trauma,
Mhm.
just following up on what you said, like a lot of us born in that trauma. It's like some of these pathways aren't as developed. Folks just fight or flight. Just like our response.
Overactive amygdala.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, overactive amygdala. Yeah,
Amygdala, right?
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Our fight or flight is triggered. I mean, that's why you get these gas station incidents, and
Come on now.
yeah. I mean, folks,
Mhm.
unfortunately, haven't had the tools
Yes.
that those monks got. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
And you ask, what do they do when they get these tools, right?
Uh-huh.
Now you got the tools. You don't just sit there and look at them now. Now it's time to. But when you get the right tools that you need, it's time to go to work,
I say.
right?
Yeah.
And I believe with the right tools, then now it's time to start wrapping that barbed wire off that heart, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you can even go in deep with it, or take that sledgehammer and get to going deep with it, right?
Mhm.
You can, or even go deeper with a 50-pound sledgehammer. You can go even more into it and do it, because I let the guys know all the time that I know it's trauma, but I didn't go through what you went through. You know what happened to you when you wrapped it around this way. You know what happened when you was hurt that way, when you wrapped it more around this way. And you know when you got to that point when you said, that's it, no more. It's a fortress around here. To hurt this hard again, you got to get through this fortress.
I say.
So when they get those tools and they actually get the right ones, then it's time to motivate them. And as I say, as a man amongst people, I create a world where people go beyond their self-made limitations by watching me go beyond mine. So I'm going to model it if this is what this done for me. So when I hear them like, no, Floyd, I want to be just like you. Like, no, bro, I want to be just like you. But it's time to start working the tools. Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that. Like, take us back, man. It worked just for me. Like you said, you was a part of FMP before it was even called FMP.
Yeah.
You came over transitional jobs program.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about take us back, man. Talk a little bit about that experience.
Woo! Coming through that.
Yeah.
The program. Oh my gosh, how far back that was. How far back that was. Back to the experience. I'm telling you, it's 2007 that we went back there.
19 years.
2007. And just like right now, you was the man then. They walked in the room, they were like, oh, that's the one, you can. I said, okay. Okay. And just, to see him through that. And like I said, even then, I was still just on my beginning of my journey.
Yes.
Right? But even then, you was motivating me. You was talking to me. Smorlin was talking to me.
Oh,
y'all was in there, y'all was in there doing the motivation. So I'm seeing these strong brothers right here that's motivating me.
Yeah.
And so I'm seeing that. I'm like, okay. And I kept them moving. And it's so wild, like, y'all did a piece with us in there that I want to even do with my group. You know,
Which
and
one?
It's basically about paying attention, and it was like a test, and so everybody had it. And if you read the directions, right, it said, put your pen down right after you read the direction. Like, stop it. And then it goes on and draw a square. Now do another line. And I put my pen down, right? But then I seen people going in.
Everybody else, yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember that.
So
Yep. Everybody else, yeah. Everybody else
We
with
put my triangle on, and so I started doing it too because I got caught up in that loop. But I know what it said there. See, I doubted myself. And so that self-doubt, yep. And so that right there even was a big one that caught
and
me
I
like,
never thought about the lesson from that perspective. Because it's a follow directions exercise. And I remember that, man. Shout out to that. But yeah, like I followed directions. I was on my square, and then I saw how everybody else.
Yeah.
I saw basically the I mean, that could be like symbolic, like the degeneration of my social circle. I just watch how everybody else just ignored and just went into this, and like, why am I doing this?
Just think.
Jeez. I never thought about it like that.
That's a good example of how we can change the norm.
Oh, yeah.
Because the norm right now, somebody talk about your mom, you're supposed to,
right,
handle your business and be,
Oh, yeah.
Or
think about co-parenting norms.
Somebody disrespect you, you're supposed to react violently.
Right.
And because I remember I was 5 years old, I came up here from down south, and starting school, and they was talking, people were fighting because people were talking about somebody's mama.
Uh-huh.
And then somebody was trying to get me to fight, and they said something about my mother, and I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do. But noticing everybody else, I don't think I fought, but I came home and I was all mad, and my mother said, "What's wrong with you, boy?" "They was talking about you." She said, "These people don't know me."
They don't know me. Yeah, they don't know
but see,
me.
it was the norm.
Yeah.
You knock this stick off your shoulder, then somebody, I don't know if y'all remember that one.
Oh, yeah.
But they put a popsicle stick on your shoulder and they knock it off, then you're supposed to fight.
But let me ask you,
on my time,
how that's real, in norms. And I love like, so as we change the norm, as we change the norms, just even like with how men and dads show up in their households, like how does becoming a peacekeeper change the way a man fathers?
Ooh.
Yeah. I was at my cousin's wedding. This was back in the 60s.
Okay.
In Chicago. And the pastor was a Southern Baptist preacher. And I remember he said, while he was, conducting the ceremony, "Once somebody got to have some sense." And I was, once somebody got to have some sense, but that in a relationship, that makes sense. If either, like in a family,
yes,
if one of the parents is able to be cool and stable under some kind of during an issue.
So one of the somebody's got to have some sense.
But if one, exactly, see, think about that.
Yeah. I didn't follow it at first, but
that was wise.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. One of the somebody's got to have some sense.
Somebody.
It took me a while for it to sink in, but now I'm a mediator.
It took a while for me too, but I got it now. Yeah, one of the somebody's got to have some sense.
Once somebody got to have some sense.
Somebody got to create a frame. Somebody got to make some music we dancing to.
In a group. It implies leadership.
Yeah, definitely.
Whether it's the man or the woman, but given that the man is normally, I think most people will hold up the man responsible.
Mm-hmm.
And but I think the responsibility could be either way. Wherever there's where there's leadership missing, somebody can step into that leadership role and have some sense. But the man can take responsibility, whether he is responsible for the problem or whatever. But I think the man could take the responsibility for peace.
Yeah,
as a peacemaker in the family.
Ooh. I like how you said that. I like that. Say that question one more time. How
how does becoming a peacekeeper, like just like you said, we take the barbed wire off the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go even get farther than that. We take the barbed wire off the heart, and as we have committed ourselves, to becoming peacekeepers and custodians of peace. Like, as we give people these tools, because that's what it's going to take. You're right. I mean, because that's part of the model, right? Like, we have to give people in these communities tools to be able to do that. So it's like, as people are getting these tools, like, how does having those tools and being a peacekeeper and being committed to, just really to our community in a different kind of way, how does that change how a man fathers?
Whew.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you like this. It helped me so much. I'm gonna take that thing. My fellow co-parenter up in here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Me and my son,
I think
mother.
that makes all three of us.
I'm talking about me and my son, mother. We like two opposite ends of the magnets. Just pull apart. Those ones that you probably put two together.
I think that makes all three of us.
Me and my son, mother's like, what happened when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? Okay, Master Splinter versus the Shredder. Do you understand me? It just
Joker and Batman.
Exactly, right. And so, when we split, and she moved to Minnesota,
okay,
with my son, right, and I thought to myself, like, okay, I can take this time now. I got James Mosley. Do you hear me? I got the Guru.
Oh yeah.
I got
shout out to
I got Alfonso
to Elder Mosley, man.
You know, the seafood.
Shout out to seafood, man.
Like, I got these great fathers.
Oh yeah.
By my side and motivators. Like, I gotta use them. I gotta do my work. And I took that time to work on myself, that when my son do come in my life, like, when I do be around him, I'm gonna be the best father I can at that time then with him, right? And so I took that time, and I'm talking about, I was driving that freeway to Minnesota and back when the speed limit was 65 miles an hour before the 70.
Right.
You know, so it was 6 hours there, 6 hours back. And it was 12 hours getting son back, 6 hours, and just getting my son all the time. But too, now as I started growing, understanding and learning, and at that time, true, that Minnesota school system was better than Milwaukee school system.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did say, okay, my son getting a better education up there, right? And then from there, I continued on to watch him grow.
Yeah.
And it came to that time when my son said, no, I'm ready to move with my dad. I'm ready to come live with my dad. And when he said that, you know, I knew then I was preparing and getting everything ready. So when that time comes to be the absolute best father I can be for him, that was that point. And that was that moment right there.
Wow.
And to watch it. So it made me understand, recognize, look at things, evaluate things differently. I'm just do one more piece about that too.
Go ahead.
One more piece. You know, and he was having problems, and it was a little challenge coming up, and he didn't want to do it. And he was like, no, I'm going, you know, he basically did step to the plate, right?
Right.
And then, so, you know, I had to do the Sister Mary Clarence, you know, and Sister Act to him. I told him, you want to be somebody and you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. Yeah. The world's going to come with you with problems all the time. You start running now, you're going to be running for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And the whole thing was, it was track. He was like kind of scared to do the track. He went on ahead and did it. And why he went to the Grand Nationals with it too.
Wow. So those tools you picked up helped you show up in a different way for him.
Yes.
And helped him, it sounded like helped him propel and do some things that he probably wouldn't have had an opportunity
absolutely
to do before. And that's just, once again, that's just an example of stronger men, stronger fathers, stronger community. That's beautiful. It's time for Facts of Cap. Time for Facts of Cap. Facts of Cap, basically, I'm gonna throw out a statement. You tell me if it's real or not. Tell me if it's facts or if it's cap. Y'all ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Okay. So,
cap.
What?
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Well-meaning men have no role in how abusers operate. Facts or cap? Well-meaning men have no role in how abusers operate. So guys who ain't abusers.
Cap.
That's cap. That's cap. That's cap. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So how does a good man silence? Good guys who doing the right thing. How does the good brother silence give abusers the cover? Like how that works?
Facts. I'm just playing. I'm just
So how, like basically, if men are operating, let's just say we out here womanizing, let's just say we out here abusing, making it cool to domestically abuse women or whatever, and we talk about it, somebody talking about like, man, I put hands on my woman last night, and then like we just, okay, cool, that's cool. Like how do we like how do well-meaning men silence let that ride?
Yeah, silence shouldn't let that ride. I mean, we shouldn't be silent, because we want to change that norm. We need standards.
So what's a way that, let's just say it's like, because a lot of I've seen situations where guys said stuff or did stuff that we didn't agree with, steeped in some very, very, toxic, use a strong word, patriarchy or whatever, and we just kind of stood there and sat there and let it ride because we didn't know what to do. Like what, like could you give like a tidbit, a tip, like how do we make it uncomfortable for somebody on that?
Yeah, well, we could ask a question, get them to look at themselves, because a lot of times people, they don't realize that they're misbehaving or acting out of order or doing something that ultimately is going to harm somebody. So, but if you can get them to look at themselves by asking a question without judging, I would say, because I don't want to create an argument, but I could say, well, how's that working? Or ask them something about the outcome in that relationship. What's going on, getting people to engage in introspection, some kind of way with
introspection. Yeah, definitely. Like, tying it to, a woman in a family or, their mother,
that's
or their daughter, right?
Or you could share about an experience you had. My stepfather, I faced life and death situation with him about 5 times. So I'm very sensitive, So if somebody would say something like that in my hearing, I would probably get triggered, and then I would pause, and then I would probably find some way to ask a useful question.
See, I always break it down to, I think about them babies. I think about them kids. Sound like my auntie. Somebody think about the babies. What about them? So I think about those babies, and you understand children are sponges. They absorb all of that.
Everything.
And typically, if they seeing this abuse, they recognize that as love, right? My number one said it. My number one of the wisdom of Kima. Got to give him his props. Number one.
Oh yeah.
He said this before. This one. I'm on the quote. I'm quoting you wrong, number one, but in its way, he said, at a family's gathering, he seen his favorite uncle, slap his favorite auntie, which was his wife, and then the next day, they was back holding their hands and at the party with them again. So we don't want to make this like a norm, and children think of that as love.
Yeah, they saw all right. Yeah.
And so they would get in those type of relationships.
That's right.
Because that's what they think it is. So do you want your children to be, hitting people? Or you want somebody to hit your children? It's like, I got to bring it back to them babies. So we got to model what we putting out there, because they are watching everything and they sucking it right on up.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
What African tribes, when they greet you by saying, how are the children? How are the children?
Yeah.
That's the real tall.
The Maasai.
The Maasai tribe.
Them tall jumpers, yeah.
How are the children?
Jump taller than Jordan. Jump higher than Jordan. Just in one place. They don't need no starting run. They just jump. About to fly off.
Buddy. Buddy. How are the children? I'm going to do one more. Facts or cap. Child support has to be linked to family court. Facts or cap?
Cap.
Cap, man, bro.
100% cap.
So what does support look like outside the court?
Well, see, a lot of people don't realize that, especially if there's no marriage involved, and you don't have to actually go through the child support system.
That's right.
Now, Steve, he's going to be one of the trainers. He wrote the book, The Child Support Solution.
Right.
He has his checkbook, children's checkbook concept. and he says that
We
if
got to
you
get them on the show too one of these days.
Yeah,
if you can have the parents negotiate custody and placement, they ought to be able to negotiate child maintenance as well.
Right.
Why not? And include that in the parenting agreement. And if you do that, you can bypass child support, which is very ineffective. It's not efficient. There's no transparency there. And the states are reaping billions of dollars every year off of that system.
Yeah, and it's a system of winners and losers.
Yeah.
I mean, we talking about court. It's just like, court is the same place where accidents and, lawsuits and
Yep.
all that other kind of stuff is mediated. It's like somebody has to be wrong and somebody has to be right. And that don't quite jam when we talking about our babies. Somebody being wrong and somebody being right.
And now if you're
Somebody
trying to
being the
heal,
hero and somebody being the villain, somebody being the Joker and somebody being Batman.
right.
That,
Not if you're trying to heal.
Not if we're trying to heal. Not if we're trying to heal. I'm gonna do one more. Women don't abuse. Facts.
Cap.
Yeah.
Of course, that's
I didn't get a chance to get
Well,
that.
Cap.
Facts.
I'm so sorry.
So why is it so hard for men to come forward? When we getting these. See, there we are.
And check this out. A training that I went to in Detroit.
Okay.
Oh my God. My number one again. Thank you. You did your thing. Doctors, counselors.
Oh yeah.
Master degrees. All we spoke on that and talked about this woman that did all this premeditated things and showed up to this bad house and did this stuff. Oh, she's the victim here and stuff like my number one, he got up and talked about it. Do you know when people came to our table and told me after they heard my story, after doing my thing, now Floyd, do you really think like a woman can really abuse a man? Really, Floyd? You got a doctor's degree. And I'm sorry, they say it's no, only stupid question. The question is not asked.
That's right.
That was the dumbest, stupidest question I ever heard in my life. I said, I got a story to tell you. Oh my God, to really, to believe where the mind at, right?
Yeah.
And so even with that mind, right, that's a demand. You can't call that in. I can't do that. No,
That's right.
And
Yeah. Oh yeah.
going down there.
Oh yeah.
I'm my man.
And it's a lot of different forms of abuse too. Like, I mean, she ain't got to be, I might be 6'2", 300 pounds. She might
Emotional
be 5'5".
abuse.
There be emotional abuse, financial abuse. Oh man, just the manipulation. Like
yes.
through the children or otherwise. Isolating you. I mean, it's a lot of ways that I'm not trying to trigger anybody who's watching or listening, but it's a lot of ways. Like I didn't figure out that I had been through abuse until I actually went to an abuse class. Like I was learning, going through these trainings, and I'm just like, I was in my co-parent situation at the time. I'm like, I'm like, I didn't even think about it like that. Like, my gosh, like that's happening to me. That's been happening to me for quite some time.
Yeah. Down in Rock County, I had a case. We caucus with the parties sometimes when we reach an impasse, and by having just a one-on-one conversation with them privately. This guy was like 6'4", about 250, crying on my shoulder.
Yeah.
His wife, they were divorcing, little petite white woman, and here he is.
Oh yeah,
he cried on my shoulder, like she's abusing him.
Oh yeah,
but.
Oh yeah, that's real, man. You brought up Michigan. Speaking of Michigan, shout outs to that's my whole state. But I was at the Michigan Fatherhood conference, and I ran into the brother, Terron Statham, and he's doing some good work out there. And we were in that session, with the attorneys and with some state representatives from the family court system. And it got deep, man. I heard a story. I ain't even got time for this one, but I heard stories so deep to where there was a litigation that it went on so long, just so much drama and tension between two co-parents. When the baby was born, the baby was 6 months old, and the court had to decide the child's legal name because it was that
wow.
real. They were at that much at all.
They couldn't agree on the legal name.
They couldn't agree on the legal. The court decided what the baby's legal name was. But anyway, folks kind of got on these commissioners and lawyers about, these problems that we're having in our community. And brother stood up and said something. I'm actually just going to show the video here, man. Man, so Terrence, man,
we were talking. We just did a session. We had some folks from child support and some family commissioners, family judges, and a lot of times, as it happens, a lot of times, folks get in the room and we start to give them a little bit of heat about how things are going, with our BMs, man. So man, what you think about that?
I'll say to that, first of all, my job is to serve the men.
Mm-hmm.
My job is to get men to a point where they understand their own value and they can operate within a confidence that allows them to be in a space and not have to blame other people for what they're doing or not doing. And to that point, talking on accountability, I think dads, not all dads, but I think there are a lot of dads that we serve in our urban community that are absolving themselves of responsibility in the role they play in the situation they're in. A lot of dads are pressing the child's mother, pressing the court, blaming the court, blaming the mom, blaming the mom's mom, everybody but acknowledging what they did leading up to that, right? And what I wanted to say is I need dads and I need us as professionals and practitioners. I need us to be able to stop some of these guys where they are before they even get to the court. Because a lot of the guys that we serve are not ready to go to court trying to get lower child support or more custody or more, they're just not ready. We need to get our guys employed steadily. We need to get our guys in a home where if something was to happen to mom, dad could be an adequate, independent, single parent. I tell guys all the time, are you prepared to be a parent without one? You got your own car seat, your own stroller, your own pack and play. Do you have any of those without the mom? When you go and exchange your child, the only thing you should exchange is the child and the clothes that the child has on. A lot of our guys are not ready to be a 50-50 parent like they think they are, man. So I just think as professionals, I need us all press those dads, stop them in their tracks, let them know, hey, if I was in there, I wouldn't give it to you either. So
Yep.
just let's hold that together.
And I know we had talked a little bit about like the accountability too, like with the are some of these things that happen culturally. How some of these babies get here in the first place. In the road.
And I'm glad to say that because when y'all laid down and did what y'all need to do to have a baby, y'all want to have these conversations. And if we're having sex with people that we wouldn't trust to be the other parent of our children, what is that saying about us to begin with? And I've said that to guys to their face, and it's always like, dang, oh, man, like I know I should have. Okay, now it's over, but let's take the necessary steps as a man. As a man, just walk upright, chest up, chin up, chest out, and do what you need to do. That's it. That's it.
So what Terrence didn't say on that screen was, because he said this in a room full of commissioners, child support folks, lawyers, attorneys, from the state level, and practitioners, who were kind of giving those folks a hard time about what our guys are going through. But one of the stories he did mention on camera at least was he kind of gave the scenario of this young man, East Side Detroiter, shout out to the East Side. I got family out there. But anyway, he in the streets. He actively has people searching for him, looking to kill him, and he's also in court screaming for 50-50 custody for his child.
Yeah.
50-50. Right.
So what y'all think about all that?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, in order not to pay child support, they want their 50-50 placement, but they're not ready. They don't have the car seat. They don't have a decent living space. There are a lot of things that are missing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some things that shouldn't even be in the environment, and they're not. They're just not equipped. They're not ready physiologically. Based on their environment, and maybe they're not even ready mentally. And that's why we're doing the healing circles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For fathers who were struggling for placement of their children.
Mm-hmm.
We were holding healing circles. And we did that for about 3 years. And we had co-parenting, father initiative programs,
Right.
from coast to coast.
Mm-hmm.
They were involved.
So that internal healing and that accountability is big. And one thing, I just know one thing, because we talked about our co-parenting situations. One thing I always found solace in, and this is the thing, it's like I don't want to kick myself or whatever, but it's just like nobody held a gun in my head and made me be with that woman.
Come on now.
That's right.
Come on now.
It's just like, a lot of this, even if it's 90-10, even if my 10% is I decided to be in that relationship or whatever. It's just like, hey, we really, really have to evaluate, as we move into a new day with somebody who does have to be in our lives, if we're fortunate, for the rest of our lives, because we got grandkids one day too. But moving into that new day, we gotta learn how to own what was ours. We gotta learn how to own what's ours.
Yeah, there's no power in being a victim.
That's right.
But if you take responsibility for whatever the situation is, you've empowered yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That question that you asked, right? And you saw what you said, and the guy got people out there.
Oh yeah,
looking for him.
Yeah,
and then he's screaming this in court.
Yeah,
and as a father, nurture, support, as a provider, all the things, then warrior when necessary, right? You got to protect the child, and if you have that type of stuff going on, you're not ready to be, having your child there with you and doing that. Like, you got to get yourself together. Like the brother said in the video, you got to have your own this, your own that. You got, picking up is the child. And if you got this type of stuff going on in the community that this is happening, then that modeling that you're putting out there, kids absorb all that, right? So you want your child to grow up and be a Rambo too, and have people out there looking for, to get him too. Like, you got to get yourself together. Right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And that's, I don't know that's an extreme example, but I mean, that's an example of just how real the cognitive dissonance sometimes can be. Like, nobody wants to just pay child support. Nobody just wants to have money just coming out of their check for anything. But, being able to ask ourselves and seriously, like, is it just that I don't like her or I don't jam with her, or is that, right, or is the baby's best place with me? I mean, because that's two different questions.
Yeah, it is.
Those two different scenarios.
Yes.
When I was going around promoting fatherhood presence, I was involved in a chat discussion online with some sisters from Chicago, and many of them, I was kind of like doing a little poll about fatherhood presence, and many of them were saying they could stay where they are.
Yeah.
They don't want them involved because they weren't ready.
That's deep.
I know.
Yeah. Man, so as we're closing out, I wanted to ask y'all, I want to do some guess best. Real quick. So quick answers, real opinion. Just we gonna end with some fun. So
okay.
So either of y'all, best burger y'all ever had.
Cap. Oh, I'm sorry.
Facts and Cap is over, Wild.
I'm so sorry, y'all.
Best burger you ever had.
There's this place right off of Valit. Bob's? Is it Bob's? Mike's.
Not Bob's Burgers. Wait a minute now.
No, Mike's. There's a place called Mike's right off of right across the street from the police station.
Okay.
On down from the tennis courts.
Oh yeah.
Mike's.
Okay.
They call it smash burgers or something.
Yeah.
But I stopped eating red meat. I may eat a burger once a year.
I think, what is that place called down there off Port Washington? Sally's?
Oh yeah. Sally's is fire.
You got the burger you drink? Like,
right.
It'd be so much. Oh, you drink. You got to drink that burger. So that was the best one to me.
The owner of Sally's was one of my linemen on my high school football team.
Get out of here! Wow.
You just nip your fingers, man. Just keep on eating and keep going.
Wow. Hey man, I like Cops. I still like Cops.
All the time.
Burgers
with the pickle in the middle. Gotta have the pickle. Mm-hmm.
Okay. One last one. Best book, movie, or song that gets healing and forgiveness right. When you think of healing and forgiveness, this kind of really just encompasses it.
The best book?
I'm gonna say Jojo Pine. Wisdom Walk book. It have the stories in it, have my story in it, even have her story in it.
Okay.
And the transformations. And she put the transformation in it, and she used the Dagger Tribe medicine wheel on that. So that, and it just got James Mosey and stuff. And it's
yeah.
That's book Jojo Pine. Yeah.
My grandmother's hands.
Grandma's hands. Oh yeah.
My grandmother's hands.
Yeah.
Bobby Knockin.
Yes. Yeah.
Right over in Minnesota. Yeah. He has a practice there. He's a therapist.
And
you put me onto that one.
Yeah.
He put me on it. Yeah. Have you checked that one out yet?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
My grandmother's hands.
Ooh yeah. Oh yeah.
Seafood got it right up in his office. Alfonso.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's right. Yep. Yeah. So anything you all want to highlight before we get on out of here? Real quick.
I would like to leave you with any problem in life can be resolved within the context of a conversation, because life is a conversation.
I love that.
Like in the beginning was the Word was God, and the Word was God. Without language, without a conversation, nothing would exist. If we can't create it, we can't name it. But we can create whatever, because we made in it. Like they say, we made it. I don't want to bring religion in too much.
No,
but
that's
but
beautiful.
we're made in the image of God. We can speak and create.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you know, you get the right two people talking. You know, it can solve any problem. Yeah,
two or more gathered together.
That's
name.
Yeah, definitely.
So you know how they say, reach one, teach one, and things like that.
Each one reach one.
Yeah. I just say and just each one reach one.
Each one
reach one. I can't teach you nothing. Through the Dogwood tribe, I believe you already came full with it inside of you. I just facilitate the environment that is healthy enough that we can start doing our work and getting it out.
Wow.
And so 20 years ago, like in the time that we have been doing this and looking, just still building on. So just keep on reaching. Let's keep on reaching and keep.
You know something about Malidoma Somé?
Yes,
yeah.
That is my Jojo Pop that was her teacher.
Okay. Man, yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, man.
The healing wisdom of Africa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Each one teach one, and we're going to keep reaching. You know, for the next 20 years, and we'll keep making it look different. Mm-hmm. So it's like being a father isn't just about being strong. And strength isn't just about physical strength or aggression. Like it's different ways and it's new ways, especially in this new age that we have to show up as men, as teachers, and as healers, and as mediators. It's our responsibility to heal our community because nobody's coming to save us. I want to thank you, man, for coming and being.
That was a great summary. I have to give you an A on that.
Facts.
Professor, give me facts right there.
You got an A. You got an A on that one.
Bumps in. That's facts. That ain't cap right there. That's facts.
So thanks, Professor Charles. Thank you, Floyd Wildhorse. For shining on. Y'all got to come on back here. So this episode was brought to you by the Better Together Co-Parenting Program. Hey, sign up for the next Better Together class. It's starting up soon. If you are watching this, on our visual feed, check out the QR code right there. It should be right there on the screen, like right above my head somewhere. If you're not watching this, just go to fathersmakingprogress.org and find out how to sign up for the next class. A new day for you and your co-parent is on the horizon. We are here, and hey, they don't have our solutions outside of our family. Our solutions are in our family. So until the next episode, stay present, stay positive, and stay making progress. Peace.
Fathers making progress, F&P.